So you've just got a hold of a new Sony a6700 camera and you're excited to get started, but you're not sure where to begin. Well, I'm here to help. In this video, I'm going to go through the essential first steps to start using this amazing camera. Let's get straight into it. Now, one of the first things that you're going to want to do is put on and change the lens. So take off the caps on both the lens rear and the camera front. Carefully line up the white dot on the base of the lens with the white dot on the camera body, and then turn the lens slowly clockwise until you hear a click as the lens locks. Now, to remove the lens, press and hold the button under the lens while slowly turning the lens anti-clockwise until it just lifts off. Then replace the lens caps when the lens is not in use to prevent dust and crap getting in there. Now, if the lens you have mounted is a zoom lens and not a prime, then the main ring also controls the zoom. Twist this to change the zoom in or out when the camera is on. However, if the camera is in manual focus mode, then the ring becomes a focus ring at the current zoom level. Also on the side is a power zoom lever if the lens is a power zoom model. You simply push this to quickly zoom in or out. Let's now get familiar with the layout of our new camera, its buttons and its ports. Now, all the ports are located under flaps on the left hand side of the camera if the lens is facing away from you. Now, under the flap at the top is a 3.5mm port for connecting an external microphone for improving the audio recording quality. We also have a USB-C charging port, so use this to charge the battery in the camera. Now, of course, you could alternatively charge the battery in an external charger. Under the next flap in the middle is a slot for the storage card. Now, what storage card to use depends very much on your intended use for the camera, whether you'll be using it primarily just for photos only, for videos only, and what resolution, bitrate, etc. Now, this is a topic for an entire video in itself, so I'm probably going to make a video for this on this topic, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Under the bottom tab is a 3.5mm port for connecting some headphones to monitor the audio being recorded, and also a mini HDMI port for live view on an external monitor. Now, under the camera we have the battery socket as well as a tripod socket. Now, on the top of the camera, starting from the left, this is a hot shoe adapter for accessories like flash units and so on. Just slide off the cover. Now, here we also have the mode selection wheel. Now, this is where you switch the camera to standard modes like fully auto, manual, shutter mode, and all that sort of stuff, plus custom modes. Now, I'm not going to go into details of these particular modes in this video. Now, under this, we have the wheel to select the photo or the video mode, and a slow and quick motion button. We also have the menu button for changing the camera settings. Now, moving over to the right, we have the shutter wheel. Now, this gives quick access to change the shutter speed when in an appropriate mode. You're going to see the shutter speed displayed at the bottom of the screen. Next, we have the C2 custom button. Now, this can be configured for quick access to certain functions depending on your preference. By default, it gives quick access to change the focus area. Now, next to this is the start-stop recording for use during a video mode. Now, in front of this is the on-off switch and the shutter button for taking a photo. Right below the on-off switch at the front is a wheel for changing the aperture when in the appropriate mode. Now, let's have a look at the back of the camera. We also have the AF on button. Now, the main purpose is to perform a focus lock. Now, under this is the FN function button. This is used to gain quick access to commonly changed settings during shooting. We also have the control wheel, used for a variety of things from changing settings to choosing focus points. Pressing a certain direction on this control wheel accesses certain functions. For example, pressing up becomes a display setting button. Pressing right to access a number of settings. Now, under this wheel, the last two buttons allows accessing a preview of the photos and videos taken as a way of trashing them. And now let's have a quick run through of the shooting modes available. If you're new to photography and you don't really understand all this shutter speed and aperture business, and you just want to grab a quick photo or video and let the camera take care of things for you, then there is a fully automatic mode available. But this pretty much defeats the purpose of having a camera of this caliber, so it just becomes a point and shoot. But if you're a complete beginner, then the auto mode is going to get you off the starting blocks. You can then graduate to a more semi-automatic or perhaps a fully automatic modes later, when you have more knowledge. On the screen, you'll notice it comes up with the auto screen selection defaulting to intelligent auto. As it says, this is the easiest option to let the camera detect the scene and choose the appropriate settings for you. Now, if you press the down button on the controller wheel and then use the left-right buttons to move through a number of auto modes, we have portrait, sports, macro, landscape, sunset, night scene, night portrait. Now, each of these scenes, the camera will automatically pick appropriate settings for you, like shutter speed, aperture, etc., to help you get the best photo in that situation. Obviously, you're going to be limited to the lens that you've connected at the front. So if you have a telephoto lens, then it's not going to do macro, and if you have a macro lens, it's not going to do telephoto, etc. But if you have the appropriate lens, then these auto modes are certainly going to help. Now, I could go on all day and talk about each of the semi-automatic modes and the other features of the Sony camera, but this is going to be completely separate topics in other videos I'm going to have on my channel. So if you're interested in learning more about the camera, then check these out and make sure you subscribe to the channel when they become available.